Come on board the Newstrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. A huge controversy rages over Tanishq withdrawing an ad about interfaith harmony and an interfaith god Barai. An ad campaign by Tata's jewellery brand Tanishq has become the latest bone of contention on social media. The interfaith ad shows a Hindu daughter-in-law's baby shower organized by her Muslim mother-in-law. While Tanishq has now withdrawn the ad, many are asking, why did such a big brand, after having put out an ad of this nature, buckle under pressure from social media?
Tata's jewellery brand Tanishq has withdrawn this ad amidst boycott calls and trolling on social media. The advertisement depicts a Muslim family observing Hindu rituals for their daughter-in-law. But the interfaith ad had the right wing seething for allegedly promoting love jihad and projecting the Hindu daughter-in-law as a supplicant. The jewellery brand claims that the idea behind the campaign was to celebrate the coming together of people from different communities and the beauty of oneness. Tanishq has now said that it is saddened with the inadvertent stirring of emotions and is withdrawing the ad, keeping in mind hurt sentiments and well-being of its employees, partners and store staff.
Tanishq had thought in the interest of their business. इसलिए उनको अपने business interest में जो अच्छा लगा, they have taken that step.
As the backlash escalated, a Tanishq store in Kutch, Gujarat posted this apology after alleged threats from a fringe group.
कंपनी ने कुछ ऐड रिलीज किया था, वो किसी अपने भाई बंधुओं को हर्ट कर गई है, तो उसके लिए वो लोग हमसे बोल रहे थे कि ये ऐड निकाल दी जाए, तो हमने कंपनी में इन्फॉर्म कर दिया था और कंपनी ने वो ऐड रिमूव भी कर ली है, पर उनको कुछ माफीनामा चाहिए था, उसके लिए वो लोग आए थे स्टोर पे और माफीनामा हमसे मांग रहे थे, जो कि कंपनी ने अभी प्रोड्यूस कर दिया।
पूरे गुजरात में से या कच्छ एरिया में से कुछ थ्रेट कॉल्स आ रहे थे जो जान पुलिस को 13 तारीख को की गई थी और 13 तारीख को पुलिस को जब से जान हुई है तब से यहाँ पे एक पेट्रोलिंग बंदोबस्त का हमने आयोजन किया।
While the ad for Tanishq's Ekatvam jewellery line now stands withdrawn, the brand is now under fire for buckling under pressure of bullies. Bureau Report, India Today.
Did Tanishq do the right thing by taking down this ad? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Sales, in any case, very scratchy. Any top corporate can do without this kind of negative publicity, or is this a big mistake? A corporate of the sort that Tanishq represents should it have shown greater spine, stood up to trolls and said, we believe in this ad because, hey, what does it show? It shows interfaith harmony, and who in his right mind can have a problem with a depiction of interfaith harmony? This is not about strife, this is about love. Why should that be a problem? Joining me on the Newstrack, I want to welcome first TV Mohandas Pai, chairperson Aryan Capital, squaring off against him, Shobha De, one of India's best-known authors. Mohandas Pai, I want to start with you. Why do you think that Tanishq did the right thing by taking down this ad? This has become a raging controversy online. Their brand has received such negative publicity on both sides. A, people didn't want that ad up. Secondly, you've got all the liberals and everyone else who supports this ad saying it should have never been taken down. Why do you think it's a good idea for this ad to have been taken down? Mohandas Pai.
Well, Rahul, the ad misfired. It is a bad ad, badly done, and the timing was not right. And I think they did well by looking at the reaction of the consumers and pulling it down. Because we must remember one thing, consumers' brands are not supposed to be social activists. They're supposed to be brands to sell their product in the right manner. And you can't start a social activism movement by this. And the whole ad was very wrongly done. In the interfaith marriage, it is a marriage between two equals, not between one supplicant and a person who shows benevolence, especially in a very sensitive area. They shouldn't have done it. The way it was depicted was very wrong. And then when the reactions came, the fight happened because one set of people felt very bad about it and they didn't like that ad. And the other set of people abused the other set who didn't like it to say that. For example, look at that MP from South India. We know who he is. He abused people and said, oh, this is about India, this is it. Yet the same MP has been very selective. When a nun was raped in Kerala, I don't think he went there and fought for the nun. It is part of his constituency or nearby his constituency.
Okay, I want to draw you in further and understand from you as we set the context for this debate. Why do you say the timing is wrong? Why do you think it's a bad ad? Because when people see it, I mean, it depends on what you see. It also shows an interfaith marriage. It shows an interfaith god bharai. And many would say that that's fantastic because that represents the idea of India, that harmony, love, religions working together rather than being at loggerheads and fighting with each other. So why is this a bad ad? Why is this bad ad?
Rahul, interfaith marriage is a marriage between two equals who choose to be married. It is not between one supplicant and somebody who shows benevolence. And the way it has been depicted, whereas the bride is shown benevolence by a mother-in-law in a big way as if a favor is being done, instead of being an ad between two equals, I think was badly done. For example, if the husband and wife had gone together and the husband has said, this is for you, it would look very beautiful. Getting a mother-in-law there and the mother-in-law being shown as very benevolent and the daughter-in-law being very supplicant, it immediately changes the tenor of the entire ad.
Okay, let me get Shobha De to respond to this. You're saying the daughter-in-law is shown as a supplicant, the mother-in-law shows benevolence. It's as if a favor is being done. You know, brands shouldn't act like social activists. Shobha De.
I have a lot of problems with this line of argument to start with. I don't know what he means, Mr. Pai, by calling it a bad ad. Who decides what's a bad ad? I mean, to start
Shobha,
with, it's a judgmental comment. I'd like to finish what I'm saying, please, if you don't mind. And then to talk about the lady being used, the bride, the young mother being used in a role that is like a supplicant. I mean, in India, traditionally, it's not just a marriage between a man and a woman. It's the family is very much a part of it. The community is very much a part of it. And this is clearly a motivated, politicized, ugly kind of a controversy that's been actually constructed to lead to feelings of suspicion, hostility, anti-feelings towards a particular community at a time when what we really need is a loving message. It's an innocuous ad. Let me say it emphatically. It's a beautifully shot ad. It is an extremely sensitive ad. And it shows a young pregnant girl, the bahu of the family, being celebrated in a way that manages both the sensitivities of both communities, both religions, in a very balanced way. I do not understand this manufactured narrative because everybody is talking like, what Mr. Pai is saying. It's about suddenly a feminist angle has been thrown into it and the bride is being made to show like some little puppet who's being
so Mohandas Pai,
it's a mother-in-law showing respect and love for a daughter-in-law. There's nothing at all. It's less than even 50 seconds, this ad. It has touched many, many hearts. And since when have inter-religious marriages been constitutionally banned in India? What are we talking about? Is it against the law to have a god bharai as has been shown? It is not, right? So can you please back off from this argument? And at a sensitive time, yes, the time is very sensitive. And the message of love overrides all other messages that are being injected into this very, very beautiful and sensitive ad. So anybody who opposes it is actually showing a kind of hatred towards a community, and that I consider that a crime.
Mohandas Pai, the relationship between a mother-in-law and the daughter is one of love, it's one of benevolence. And that's just the way the relationship is, regardless of which religion mother-in-law belongs to.
I don't think daughter-in-laws will agree with you that mother-in-laws should be benevolent. It's a relationship between two equals. Let's be very clear about it. And I don't think anybody will accept that. Anyway, whatever Shobha De has done and the language she has used and all the arguments is the indication of the strong emotion that are being aroused by this ad. Both sides. Both sides. And we should not use strong language to abuse anybody who disagrees with you, says unconstitutional, is hate and all that. All this nonsense should not come. It's an ad. Some people like it. Some people don't like it. Now, if you don't like it, You like it, that is fine. It is a personal view. Others don't like it, respect the view. Then don't make it political by saying, oh, you're a hate monger, this is hatred, it's anti-caste and all that rubbish. It's not about that.
Are you bringing in non-issues in that case, Mr. Pai?
Please stop talking rubbish.
Connected?
Please stop talking rubbish. Please stop talking rubbish. I heard you. Please stop rubbish.
I don't want to descend to your level. Why are you bringing in the non-issue into this?
You are a hate monger. You are a hate monger. You are a hate monger and a one-sided selective person. So just shut up. Let's not get into personal narratives and point fingers, please. Let's be grown-up people and debate properly without insinuation.
Please remind yourself that you're a grown-up adult educated man.
Okay, 1 second.
Don't make insinuation.
No, Mohandas Pai, Shobha De, I can't allow this conversation to get derailed.
I don't want to get into it at all, Rahul.
One second. Please don't get personal. Try and win through the power of your argument, not through the invectives that we use. Let Mohandas Pai complete. Let him complete, and then I'm going to come to you, Shobha De. Mr. Pai, let's not get personal.
Rubbish, right?
Yeah, Rahul,
an adult and a civilized, educated person.
This ad evokes very strong emotions within two sets of people. One set of people who feel offended, other set of people who want to stand up and say, this is the way to be, this is the way to be. And once they start abusing each other, like it happened today in this program, then it takes on a whole new dimension. I think we should debate it as two adults. Some people don't like it. To me, it looks patronizing. It looks out of place, especially in the sensitive times. I would have been happy for an interfaith marriage to have the husband and the wife celebrate their wedding and the husband to take it, not a benevolent mother-in-law, especially when it's interfaith, to bring in something else. It would have been okay. Personally, I don't care both ways. I'm just expressing views of many people who think that this ad is very patronizing, especially in the sensitive times. And what are the sensitive times, Rahul? We're going through the pandemic. There have been many cases of women beheaded by members of a certain community and all kind of atrocities happening. And suddenly you're bringing about two different faiths where there's been conflict within the faith. Better not do this thing at this point of time. Just lie low. A company is not a social activist. The wrong timing. Wrong kind of ad, and I think it's good for Tanishq to withdraw it.
Okay, let Shobha De now respond to you, and then let's not have any interjection. Shobha De.
No, I'd just like to say this, and it can be called rubbish for all I care, but at a Godh Bharai, traditionally, the husband is not present. It's a lady's function. So it's completely in consonance with the way it's traditionally celebrated across many states of India. It is something that women get together and make the lady who's an expectant mother feel wonderful. And that's all that the ad is attempting to communicate. To talk about sensitive times, of course, there's no such thing as an insensitive time in a country like ours. There's always going to be some pocket or the other which is going to get up and say, I don't like this and I don't like that. But why try and vilify an ad which all it's trying to do is celebrate togetherness, because that is the thrust of the entire campaign, to celebrate unity in India. That is also what all right-thinking Indians would want. So why bring in political elements into this argument at all? It's a very, very well done ad which has touched many hearts, particularly of expectant mothers across communities.
Mohandas Pai, interfaith marriages are legal in this country. If somebody doesn't like the ad, he can say, okay, I won't watch the ad, or maybe I won't go and buy a Tanishq product. But to see the kind of campaign that we saw, putting pressure on the brand, forcing it to withdraw, is that fair? Can we not protest, if we please, to say, okay, I don't like this ad, this season I'm not buying Tanishq?
Rahul, have you read what Tanishq put out?
I have.
What did Tanishq say? We are sorry it has impacted our employees, our partners, and the consumers. Why bring in employees? That means it has struck a chord in the employees of Tanishq who work with the company, who sell the product, and they don't seem to like it. So they apologize to the employees.
No, but that's not necessarily what this is about. Because what we've seen happen in Gujarat, in Gandhidham, is that a Tanishq store put out an apology, a written apology, where it says, and I'll translate into English, the ad campaign of Tanishq going on in social media is shameful, and Gandhidham Tanishq apologizes to the Samagra Kutch Zilla Hindu Samaj, or the All Kutch Hindu Society, which has been put out possibly under duress from local traders. So the employees are under pressure because of people around them.
But that was no, please. That store was a, franchise store. It is not about employees of Tanishq, please. That is a franchise store, right? Just look at the data, franchise store. Rahul, let us accept one thing. In this country, there are multiple views. Let us learn to respect all views. Let us not abuse anybody because they hold a particular view. People are entitled to a view. It is a free country. Now, you don't like, you said you don't like the ad, is fine. Now, somebody likes the ad, why abuse others? If I don't like the ad, why should I abuse people who like the ad? I don't think anybody should abuse each other. People should be free to express themselves, and they don't like the ad, they express themselves. If the company feels the overwhelming reaction is that the ad is not resonating with people because possibly it doesn't send a message. What Shobha says, they says is wonderful. Wonderful message, blah, blah, blah. But it's not resonating with the set of consumers. If it's not resonating, it's best for them to withdraw, to close it and get along because it's a sensitive thing. I mean, the key thing is, does it resonate with everybody? It's not resonating. There is something wrong. They've withdrawn it. So let us leave it at that and let's get along. I think I personally feel that the ad, even though the concept was very good, was not done in a proper manner. And it showed something
Shobha
else. We saw a man,
Mohandas Pai
in the
making this
background.
an issue of expression, freedom, the right to express themselves. There are people who are offended. He says they have the right to express their dissatisfaction with the ad, run the campaign that they please, and express the fact that they don't like the manner in which this company is done with the ad, so the company knows that they're not okay with it.
Are you asking me, Rahul?
Yes, Ms. Day, I am.
Yes. All I'd like to say is this an objection based on aesthetics? And since when did corporate houses ask their employees for their opinion about the contents of an advertising campaign? This is the first time I'm hearing this. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure being exerted, and this kind of pressure is very negative in today's environment. It's just not right to pressurize people to issue apologies. Then we're told there's been an impact on the share prices. Ratan Tata's name has been dragged into it. I mean, this is taking things to ludicrous levels. Like Mr. Pai says, if you don't like the ad, don't watch it. Or you don't like the product being advertised, don't buy it. But to ask for the Tanishq products to boycott them is a kind of troll army at work, which is something that is completely against anybody's sentiments. Nobody can possibly use these kind of pressure tactics to even impact a consumer and his buying habits. This is under duress, undue pressure. Tomorrow, customers will think, if I walk into a Tanishq store, will I be seen as being pro-ad? Will I be sending out a wrong message? Why is politics being dragged into an ad like this, which is about two communities, Muslim and Hindu, let me spell it out, coming together to celebrate an expectant mother at a delicate time in her pregnancy and to celebrate the birth of a child in the family. Can we not see it in that context without bringing all kinds of ugly motives into the making of the ad? No, advertising people, when you say they're not activists, no, they're not activists. But a lot of advertising people have used those platforms to project messages of love, harmony, and unity in our country. And hats off to those people who had the courage and the guts to do so. So hats off to Tanishq for doing what you did. And there are many people who will support you. So I wish they had not withdrawn the ad. It's a real shame that they had to.
Mohandas Pai, do you not see anything beautiful in the ad, asks Shobha De. She says that, it reflects harmony, it shows two communities being together. Why then try and find fault with it? Why not just let the ad be?
Rahul.
Yes.
Two communities coming together is always beautiful, is always nice. But the way the ad was done has evoked strong emotions. It's the way the ad is done, not about the concept of two communities coming together. All right? I mean, communities coming together is always good in this country and all of us celebrate. But the way the ad has been done has evoked strong emotions. You can see it in debate itself. Whenever an ad evokes strong emotions for and against, it means that some people like it, some people don't like it. And then people start attacking each other. You have been in some TV programs in the past month where there have been strong emotions on both sides, right? Well, this is natural. That means a very, very big issue. It evokes some emotion. I think we should leave it at that. And it shows that it is not evoking the kind of emotion you want to evoke. That means the copywriter and the filmmaker, the way it has been done, is not resonating with everybody. It's not a small set of people. A very large number of people don't like the ad. Very, very large number of people. I spoke to a lot of people before coming on this program, and about 90% told me that they don't like this. 90% middle class consumers of Tanishq who are well-to-do told me we don't like the way the ad is done. This got nothing to do with religion, just the way the ad is done. We don't like it, and we think that Tanishq shouldn't have done it. Now that is the emotion that people have. And now the fact that we have a debate shows that the ad has not been done well. If the ad has been done well, I'm sure 99% of people would have loved it, because all of us like love, all of us like peace, all of us like being together. That's the common thing that binds all of us, right?
No, but Shobha De, the other side can argue that we don't know how much of this outrage is genuine, how much of the reaction is actually manufactured in terms of putting those reactions out. If it is genuine consumer backlash, of course any company needs to be cognizant of that. But the problem with a lot of these social media hashtags is that you have agencies banding about hashtags, putting out their line. I'm saying, but there's never any way of knowing how much is genuine and how much is manufactured. The fact is there has been backlash, and that backlash Tanishq has had to deal with. Shobha De.
Yeah.
Well, the point is that when we talk in such generalizations that a majority of people and a majority of consumers don't like the sentiments of the ad, has a survey been conducted, or is it just troll armies expressing themselves? We know how troll armies operate, surely. It's not that difficult to whip up a controversy over anything. And this kind of reaction to an ad that a lot of people may actually respond to very positively, there's a counter narrative being aggressively pushed. And I wonder what the motivation behind that is. Because there are lots of ads that people may not like, lots of ads which may appear completely, harmless to one set of people in India, may appear completely ridiculous to another set of people of India, and some people may just not understand it or hate it. And that's perfectly fine, and it's very legitimate in a democracy to react however you wish to react to an ad. But to sort of go after a campaign only on the basis of two communities being shown in a harmonious way, and to try and pick holes into that on some other level, and to attribute motives, and to try and deconstruct and analyze the emotions and say that the emotions in the ad are as shown is wrong. I don't understand this. Have we conducted an all India survey, and then are we talking from a point of view of strength? It's very easy for me to talk to 10 like-minded friends right now coming on the show and saying, oh, they all love it, which in fact I have done, and they all love the ad. I have an equal number of people who have said, what is this nonsense? The New York Times is taking a position on it, or reporting on it. The BBC is commenting on it. What is it about this ad that has caused such furor? And to think that, of course, the furor has started in Gujarat, it doesn't come as a surprise to anybody.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. You've heard from Shobha De, you've heard from Mohandas Pai. As always, we don't take sides. We leave it to you, our viewers, to decide who you thought had the more compelling argument. I want to go across now to Dilip Cherian, one of India's best-known image consultants, brand gurus. Shubhi Khan also joins us, actor and lawyer. Dilip Cherian, passions running high on both sides of this divide. Now, where do you think the company went wrong? Did they err in withdrawing that ad? Did they err in putting out an ad of this nature, knowing how the reaction would likely be? Because once you've taken a decision to put out an ad, which didn't just go on somebody's Twitter handle, they've thought it through, they put it out on their official YouTube handle, then, should they not have stuck with it? Dilip Cherian.
Good question, Rahul. And I can see that passions have been high, but there are three big issues. I was involved with creating the image around Tanishq when it started. The idea was to create a brand which was something of a bit of a rebellion for younger buyers of gold to say, I'm not going to go to my mother's or my mother-in-law's jeweler. I want to go to somebody who I trust. It came from the house of Tatas, so I trust it. So that was embedded into the values that were created for Tanishq. So I think that the kind of ad that was put out is basically acknowledging the fact of what is inside the image of Tanishq. Tanishq also knows, and the marketing people are clever enough to know, that like Rajiv Bajaj said recently, that you can sell more in an emotion which is evoked of love and happiness and coming together. So selling of gold is an impulse buy, but it's a planned buy in some senses because people have to put aside money for it. So if you evoke a positive emotion, which is what the ad was trying to do, the chances of a sale are higher. Did Tanishq make a mistake in withdrawing the ad? I think it did, because this is not the first time that Tanishq has been bullied by troll armies with an agenda. The last time was not a communal issue. It was about a same-sex marriage ad. So what I think is happening is that people with an agenda to say that this is our view of India.
This backlash what we are witnessing in the country right now, this is definitely the genuine backlash. This is nothing which has been created, and I would like to tell you why. See, there is something called saturation point. The country is sick and tired of extremism, separatism, terrorism. The country is sick and tired of one-sided secularism. I am a practicing lawyer. As an officer of the court, I would like to say, of course, our country law, as per Special Marriage Act, people from two different faiths can definitely marry. It's absolutely legal in our country. But why is it allowed only if a Hindu girl is married in a Muslim family? I have married a non-Muslim guy. These extremists, these separatists, on national TV almost every day they boycott me, they threaten me. आप इस्लाम से खारिज हो गई हैं, आप तो मुसलमान कहलाने लायक नहीं है. तो ये जो दोहरा चरित्र है, उससे लोगों को बहुत ज्यादा तकलीफ हो रही है. राहुल, मैं कुछ एग्जांपल्स आपको देना चाहती हूँ. डेफिनेटली कोई किसी भी पंथ में अपनी मर्जी से एक एडल्ट वयस्क शादी कर सकता है, बट ये जो वन साइडेड चीजें चलती हैं, इससे लोग अब फ्रस्ट्रेट हो रहे हैं.
But how do you know it's one side? Subui Khan, how do you know this is one side? Maybe, when someone says that this is one-sided, it almost makes it seem as if this lady had no agency of her own. Maybe she chose in that ad and in real life to marry the man that she did of her own choice and volition. Therefore, when you say it's one-sided or it's perforce, it's not as if the boy whisked the girl away and made her marry him. Maybe the girl wanted to marry him. Maybe she still likes him. Maybe she's happy with the God Barai.
Rahul, I would like to answer the counter question. This freedom of choice, does it not apply to a Muslim girl? Can I not marry a non-Muslim guy? Am I not allowed to marry a non-Muslim guy?
But who stopped you?
Why do these people boycott? Come on national TV almost every day, these extremists, these Maulanas, these political parties backed by these extremist mindset, they boycott me almost every day. आप तो मुसलमान नहीं है, मुझे जान से मारने की धमकियां, मुझे रेप थ्रेट्स दी जाती हैं. बंगाल की नुसरत जहां सिंदूर लगा के पार्लियामेंट पहुंच जाती हैं, तो पूरा बैकलैश हो जाता है उनके खिलाफ. ये वन साइडेड, ये छद्म सेक्युलरिज्म जो है, जो छद्म धर्मनिरपेक्षता है हमारे देश में, गंगा जमुनी तहजीब वन साइडेड क्यों है? अगर कोई टोपी लगा ले तो बहुत सेक्युलर हो जाता है, कोई तिलक लगा ले तो फौरन भगवा आतंकवादी हो जाता है.
Okay, let Dilip Cherian respond, and the argument that you make, which has some strong conviction, is the argument about the Trinamool MP Nusrat Jahan, who, when she wanted to celebrate Durga Puja, had to deal with the worst kind of backlash from radical Islamists in West Bengal, who said all kinds of things about her. Therefore, the likes of Subhi Khan argue that you expect one side to be tolerant, whereas the other side is almost expected to be intolerant. That's the contention that she's drawing out. Dilip Cherian.
What Subhi Khan is saying is absolutely right. I think the troll tribals are as bad as the mullah mobs. There is no doubt that both of them represent a stream of hostility. I completely and unequivocally condemn the mullahs who are attacking her because of this, and the Trinamool MP too. So I don't condone that. But this is not about whataboutery. This is also, please understand, not about reality. An ad is just a slice of marketing messages. That's all it is. We are talking of a sales promotion kind of technique. It is not about, taking sides of trolls versus taking sides of mullah mobs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying very clearly that sales happen when there is a atmosphere created of harmony. Where there is harmony, the chances of sale are higher. Look at what happens when there is a riot. Sales on all the shops in the areas that are affected collapse. And that is what I worry about. So what companies worry about is about this. This is just a slice of happy reality, which may not be reality. So many ads are meant to just project something so that you feel happy temporarily and go out and spend your rupee. That's all.
Okay, Shubhi Khan, final words before I conclude. You know, why not just say, okay, we don't like this ad, we will boycott. Why attack the brand in the manner in which the brand had to deal with the onslaught that takes away their right to put out the ad of the kind that they want, because they come under very serious bullying, which is cyber bullying, and on the ground as well.
Rahul, see, we as Indians need an outlet. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो ब्रांड्स होती हैं, चाहे बॉलीवुड हो, चाहे कंपनीज हो, चाहे किसी भी तरह की कोई मार्केटिंग हो, लोगों को अपनी जिम्मेदारी समझनी चाहिए कि हमेशा ये वन साइडेड जो एक कम्युनिटी, एक किताब है बहुत अच्छी, द मोस्ट इंटॉलरेंट विंस, एक कम्युनिटी जो बहुत इनटॉलरेंट है उसी का सब लोग साथ देते हैं, क्योंकि पता है कि जो दूसरी कम्युनिटी है वो बहुत सब्र वाली है, बहुत सहिष्णु है, वो कभी कुछ नहीं करेगी। तो ब्रांड्स को, कंपनीज को, बॉलीवुड को, सभी लोगों को अपनी जिम्मेदारी का एहसास करना चाहिए, अदरवाइज ऐसे ही बॉयकॉट होंगे। दिस इज हाई टाइम। हम लोग कब तक टॉलरेट करते रहेंगे वन साइडेड सेक्युलरिज्म? ये एक सवाल ये देश पूछना चाहता है। दुखी है भारतवासी, त्रस्त है भारतवासी। हम लोगों ने कभी, हमेशा कहते हैं कि सभी संस्कृतियों को, सभी कल्चर्स को मल्टी कल्चरल, मल्टी लिंग्विस्टिक, इतना ज्यादा एकात्मता के एहसास को मानने वाला हमारा कल्चर है, लेकिन हम लोगों को डेलिबरेटली, रिपीटेडली एक एजेंडा के तहत, स्ट्रैटेजी के तहत अटैक किया जाता है और हमसे एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है कि हम अपने मुंह पे जिप मार के बैठे रहें। तो देखिए, कभी ना कभी वो सैचुरेशन पॉइंट आता है और वो देश का आ चुका है।
Shubhi Khan, as I conclude, the critical question is, what is it that is hatred about this particular ad? It's an ad about a Godh Bharai, a baby shower, and the woman who is going through that ceremony seems quite happy about what's happening. Final words, Shubhi Khan.
Okay. Rahul, hatred is neither about the ad nor hatred is against Tanishq. Hatred is only towards one-sided secularism. Hatred is only towards that, covert kind of, trying to put some ideology ki it is okay if a Hindu girl marries in a Muslim family, but it is not okay if a Muslim girl marries into a Hindu family. And live example आपके सामने मैं हूँ and नुसरत जहाँ है। मैं यही बोलना चाहती हूँ, और ये सिर्फ लव जिहाद या इस तरह की बातें मैं नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि आप ये तो इट इज अ रियलिटी। यूपी में अभी कानून बने हैं, कुछ लॉज बनी है, नेपाल के थ्रू पाकिस्तान डायरेक्ट लड़के प्लांट करता है। लव जिहाद एक टेरर अटैक भारत के खिलाफ चल रहा है, तो डेफिनेटली हो सकता है कि लोग उसको उस डायरेक्शन में भी चीजों को देख रहे हो। अगर ये होता कि ठीक है, किसी भी फेथ में कोई भी अपनी मर्जी से शादी करे और अच्छे से रस्में हो रही हैं, तो हम सब उसके लिए तैयार हैं, बट इट शुड बी बोथ वेज। और ये सिर्फ शादी में नहीं है, आप देखिए, मैं आपको बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स दे सकती हूँ। We can debate about Sri Ram and Shri Krishna on national television, but we cannot utter a single word against Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Against तो छोड़िए, हम उनको डिस्कस भी नहीं कर सकते हैं टीवी पे, क्योंकि शहर जल जाते हैं। फ्रांस में अगर चार्ली एब्दो बेइज्जती कर देते हैं प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद की, विच इज नॉट एट ऑल एक्सेप्टेबल, नहीं करना चाहिए, मैं भी उनको बहुत मानती हूँ, तो भारत जला देते हैं। टर्की में मुस्तफा कमाल पाशा खलीफा सिस्टम खत्म करता है तो भारत जला देते हैं। लेकिन श्री राम श्री कृष्ण को हम बेइज्जत भी कर सकते हैं, उनकी मौकरी भी कर सकते हैं। बाबरी विध्वंस में ये लोग भारत जला सकते हैं, आज तक रोते हैं। लेकिन हम कभी मंदिर विध्वंस की बात कर दें कि 40,000 से ज्यादा मंदिर हमारे देश में तोड़े गए हैं, तो फौरन बोलते हैं कि जी आप तो कट्टर हो गए। दुर्गा पंडाल में लास्ट एग्जांपल, राहुल, जस्ट लास्ट एग्जांपल, 5 more seconds। बंगाल में दुर्गा पंडाल में अजान दिलवाई जाती है तो बोलते हैं सेक्युलरिज्म है। बोलते हैं मस्जिद में कोई भंडारा करवा दीजिए, कोई पाठ करवा दीजिए, तो फौरन भावनाएं हर्ट हो जाएंगी। तो ये वन साइडेड भावनाएं हर्ट होना और वन साइडेड टॉलरेंस जो आप एक्सेप्ट करते हैं एक कम्युनिटी से, ये उसके अगेंस्ट आउटरेज है, ये किसी एड या किसी कंपनी के अगेंस्ट नहीं है।
Okay, Dilip Cherian, final words.
Essentially what I'm hearing is that there is a ubhra hua anger in the society about a long-term feeling of hurt which comes from the time of the masjid and the demolition of temples, all of that. I think that what Tanishq and Tanishq's marketing managers who signed off on this ad clearly knew, because in this atmosphere where it has happened before time and time again, Surf Excel, Tanishq itself, other brands. So they were conscious of the fact that there will be a pushback in terms of what some people feel. I think that the ad was brave. What is being said is about individual people, groups of people, large communities of people feeling hurt. This was not addressed to that hurt. This was not as a message meant to either salve that or to sneakily put in any political message. I don't think so, because I know, sitting where I am, how advertising money is spent. Advertising money is spent because you want a return on your money. So you put out an ad, you want people to go out and spend their money.
So you've heard both sides. You've heard from Mohandas Pai, Shobha De, Dilip Cherin and Subuhi Khan. We leave it to our viewers to decide what they make of the decision to take down that ad. Did the company do the right thing by cutting their losses because they seem to have offended many people, or should they have shown greater spine and stood by the ad now that they'd put it out? You decide. We give you a framework to think, we give you different points of view, and as always we leave it to you, our viewers, to decide who you think had the more compelling argument. You're on board the Newstrack. Record rainfall in the last 24 hours drowned the city of Hyderabad. Roads turned into rivers, cars were washed away, and lakes appeared in several posh localities. This is the second time in 2 months that the city has come to a standstill after heavy rains.
A man struggles to stay afloat as he's washed away by powerful currents. Cars washed away. Buses turned turtle. Roads turned into rivers. Hyderabad woke up to a deluge caused by record rainfall in the city. The torrential downpour caused unprecedented damage, the likes of which hasn't been witnessed in Hyderabad in years. Over 10 lives were snuffed out in the city. The road leading to the international airport was washed away, and 3 people were washed out due to flash floods in the area.
This particular road stretch connects Hyderabad International Airport to the city, and you can see the devastation, the intensity of rain. You can just imagine that these trucks, these cars washed away, and then completely it looked like that it is crushed by some heavy boulder or something. The entire stretch is completely devastated. You can see the entire road has washed away. This is the situation.
मेरा बेटी गया, 2 बच्चे गए, और एक जो है सो बेटी गई, एक बच्चा उधर बह गया पानी में. रात के 2 बजे पानी आया था, पूरा बहुत लात मार के चलेगा.
As always, it was the poor who faced the brunt of the floods, wading through waist-deep water, their homes completely submerged. It wasn't just the slums. Every part of the city was inundated. Many locals were forced to stay indoors as water entered their apartments.
People they are stranded in their houses. This particular building, you can see this entire basement, it is completely submerged, and you can see the flow of the water. They tried stopping the water entering into the basement, but it is completely now filled with the water. They can't come down.
Public को हम लोग rescue करने के लिए government की तरफ से और इंतजाम किए गए. Public को मैं request करूँगा, आज कल भी बहुत बारिश है करके बोल रहे, तो सब लोग आप घर पे रहने के लिए मैं request कर रहा हूँ.
The iconic Hussain Sagar Lake was in full spate, like a raging river passing by the heart of the city. The worst may be over, but it will take days for normalcy to return in Hyderabad.
After record rainfall, Hyderabad city went underwater, and this is the situation of this smart city. This is not the first time, but second time in 2 months span. City witnessed inundation and flooding in several low-lying areas, and now big question being asked that whether the government will learn any lesson after witnessing this kind of devastation. With camera person Damodar, Ashish in Hyderabad for India Today.
This is where we wrap up the Newstrack tonight. I look forward to seeing you at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening with another action-packed edition of the Newstrack. Till then, from the Newstrack team, goodbye. Good night. Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kanwal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.